Hello, my name is Angeli Juliana Combita Gudelo. This is Research Pedagogical Practice Course, Universidad Nacional Abierta a Distancia. This is my research project, my proposal during my process. Podcast creation has a digital strategy to develop speaking. So let's start. Well, the contextualization, the My practice scenario was with the relay strategy, students from the UNAT University. So these are students where they have to take an English course. It depends on the course, but the course are from levels 1, 2, 3, even 5. And according to that, they have to attempt some different kind of classes for sure during their program according to their schedule. So they were a student with an intermediate and advanced English level. The about the ages from 16, 17 to 35 or 40 years old students. So that's the contextualizations. So students from UNAT University. Well, about my research proposal. At the beginning, the title of the proposal, as I said at the beginning, is Podcast Creation has a digital strategy to develop speaking. The general objective was develop speaking skills in English level 1. So my practice was based on students with English level 1 through the creation of podcasts with the digital tool Vocabulary. The specific objectives were strengthen listening skills using podcasts created by the teacher with the Vocabulary tool, practice the pronunciation of English 1 students by exploring digital tools for creating podcasts. And for sure, Spanish students, vocabulary using different sources to create a podcast, especially vocabulary. So that was the proposal at the beginning of the course, and I developed different kind of activities. But before to start, we have to take into account the literature review that was vital and important for this project. First of all, I took into account the motivational process, even though I took some from reference from Garnet postulates, which is the son of the desired. The motivational process where the teacher begins to exercise a dynamic and active role. So it is important to recognize that the teacher has an important role in the classroom, and the implementation of ICT. This is pretty important. So that's the reason why I took this into account. Podcast creation as a digital strategy. In recent years, podcasts have gained recognition in the way that the students can improve their speaking skills. And how this helps students with the motivation. All was about the lack of motivation of some students. Well, according to the project development process, as you can see in the slides, I use different kind of resources and tools to develop my classes, to develop my proposal, my project. I used slides, I used listening, games, activities, all related to improve speaking skills, and for sure to foster listening and speaking skills. The most important, the main one was speaking using or through the vocabulary tool. So as you can see, this was about my classes and the evidences. Here, the students have to create the script according to the class, according to the structures that we learned during the class. They have to create the script related to their daily routine. Then they have to make and create the podcast by themselves after following the instructions. So that was vital for them to pay attention to the slides. So was pretty vital. So as you can see, students send the links, the recordings from using Buckaroo. On the other hand, we have some conclusion and discussions. According to the research project and key findings from English 1, the taking from the Lillet strategy, this research project, this proposal had an approximation to the objectives because we had lack of motivation, and some students didn't attend the class as they should attend the class. So that was one of the biggest difficulties that we have during this process. And for sure, taking into account the different strategies in like implementing interviews, activities, work plans were used to in um, this project, in my project. A useful tool for finding was the interview documents, but as I said at the beginning, the lack of time for continuous attendance, um, attention in classes as well for the creation of podcasts. So I think that it was pretty important. It's pretty important the dedication and the willing that we put in the things. In conclusion, it's worth mentioning that the students having a high level English because they really have a good English level, but little time to be available to attend the classes how they should attend the classes. They didn't show a great interest in writing to continue or wanting to continue enhancing their speaking ability. But it is a good project to develop for future research. Thank you so much.